students. We are going to enjoy a very nice lesson, 3 questions, and this lesson is written by well-known writer Leo Tolstoy. Dear student, it is from your textbook Honeycomb. This is the first lesson, and this is very important. These 3 questions, the whole lesson is revolving around these 3 questions. The lesson is very inspiring, and there is a story in between. Actually, a king was thinking that if he should know 3 things well, his all these functions and the ruling of his kingdom will be very nice. So for this he required person, the learned people, the scholars of his time, and he sent his messengers far and wide to know, and people came. They were scholars, magicians, and great saints, etc. But the questions which is like this here, what is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? What is the most important for him to do? Now these 3 questions are just haunting in the mind of king, and he wanted to know the correct answer so that he may perform his duties well for his kingdom. People came from different places, but they could not satisfy the king, and at last, though they tried their level best, whatever they spoke, that was different, and there was no unification, and a king was not satisfied. Though he had fixed some price, but they were unable to answer properly. That's why he could not give price. Now the first question is very important. What is the right time to begin something? Suppose you can understand in this way, because this right time, the present time is very important, and you are at your home, and if you pay attention regarding your study and utilize this right time properly, it is the right time to start the thing, as you are keeping busy in study. So this is right time to keep busy in study. As I am relating the situation in a practical way before you. And another is what is which people should we listen to? You are very close to your parents, because you are facing them and they are facing you. So you have to consult them, you have to listen them, and they vice versa. Likewise here, the third one is what is the most important thing for him to do. So the important thing is to do the good for the present. So if you do something good for your parents, because they are very near and they are present in the particular moment. So if you do something good for your parent, or if your parent do something good for you, this is the right, and this is the important work. This is the important for the particular person. Now in this story, at last king went to a hermit. He was living in wood, and only common people he could meet, and that's why king also wore dressed up in a very common clothing, and he just approached to the hermit. And hermit, while he was there, hermit was digging the ground and digging the beds, and he asked about the question. But hermit did not reply. He kept his digging on, and but 1 hour and there's many hours passed, and the king was very anxious to know the answer, and he just helped the hermit. He took the spade from the hermit and he started digging, and after a few hours he just got exhausted and again asked his question, his 3 questions, but hermit did not reply. So while he was doing this, he was very anxious, and he was anxious to know his answer. But during that time, meanwhile, hermit just spoke, see, someone is running and coming, and see. So the king saw there was a bearded man, and he was bleeding like anything. Hermit, so just do something good for this wounded person. And king dressed the wound. King and hermit both dressed the wound of the bearded man, and they took this fellow, the bearded man, into the hut, into the cottage, and both king and hermit did whatever was necessary at that time. And after some moment, when he was in some conscious situation, the bearded was in the conscious situation, he asked something to drink. The king supplied fresh water, and thereafter, though king was so tired, he got asleep. But next day, when he woke up, the bearded man just begged for pardon, and he was a king's sore enemy, and he wanted to kill the king, because a king had killed his brother and seized the property of his brother. So he was the sole enemy of the king. But king was unaware about this all this incident, and the bearded man was wounded by the godman of king, because king left the horse with his god, and while he was coming, the bearded man was coming, he was just wounded by the king god. Again, after this all situation, when king asked again the answer to his all these three questions, hermit replied, "You have already been answered. You don't know the person who, first of all, you helped me because I was digging, and you helped me, pitied on me, and you started digging. It was that was the right time, and you helped me. And the person who was rushing, the bearded man was rushing, and he was bleeding. You dressed him up, and through this your kindness, he could pacify, could establish peace with you. And otherwise, if you had not dressed him, he would have killed you. So through this way, you saved your life, his life, and your own life. And the third one, the person, the act of this dressing you did, that was very important for the person through this way, because all this we are in the world for the good to others. That's why we are in the world. And likewise, king, with the help of the action, though he tried to know the answer directly, but hermit tried to answer in action, and at last he was successful. And now it is to be continued. In later lesson, you will get some more ideas about this. Later time you will get more ideas about this. Okay, thank you very much.